It's Friday, and you know what that means? It means Full Proof Friday. In honor of Full Proof Friday, for this week, I'm gonna do a lineup of 4 different offerings from 2 different main distilleries and see which one of their high proof single barrel or small batch products comes out on top. Start the episode. We're gonna get started with Old Forrester Single Barrel Proof. This one was a store pick from the state of Oregon. I picked this one up in Portland about 2 months ago. Then I have Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof right here. This one comes in at 126.8 proof. My Old Forrester is 129.9 proof, so very high. These two, I believe, are actually the highest proof point or ABV levels of the other 2 offerings. Then I have Knob Creek. This is a store pick from Westmoreland Liquors. And this comes in just a touch over 9 years old. And this is 120 proof. And then we have Booker's Charlie's Batch. And this bottle comes in at 126.6 proof. So this is the first release of 2023. I got this a couple months ago as well. And this one I've had for about 4 or 5 months as well. So all these are relatively new. I haven't drank very much of any one of these. As you can see, they're all pretty high up in the bottle still. But we're gonna do a lineup today, blind lineup of these 4 products from these 2 different distilleries and see which one comes out on top. So I've got them all mixed up here, piece of paper written as to what it is. I jumbled around, we'll jumble around a little bit more, make sure I don't know which one's which and where they're gonna go. Assign them glasses like that, so that way we all know what's going on. I poured these. I'm gonna go ahead and pour them in the glasses, let them air out for a little bit, and then I'll come back and we'll do this tasting once they've kind of opened up. Those high barrel proof products need to open up a little bit, get a little bit of oxygen, get some of that burn off the nose, and get some oxygen into them to help bring out those nice full flavors. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour these out real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll do this side by side. Okay, glasses are poured out. I went and got myself a glass of water. I don't usually drink water in between tastings, but because these are so high proof, I figured I might need a little bit of drink some H2O. So got the water, let these sit out for about 10 minutes, get some of that booze off the nose, open up a little bit. Hopefully I can get more of those flavors and aromas out of my nose, and that will help open up my palate so I can really express to you how great each one of these offerings are. So I corresponded, the bottle that is in front of each glass is what is in each glass. Again, I don't know what any of these are. I've got it written down on a piece of paper, but I don't know what they are yet. So we're gonna start with A and go A, B, C, D, work myself from right to left. Go ahead and start with this one first. Nice caramel color. That has a nice soft nose, honestly, not overly powerful. It's kind of coat the glass a little bit more and get some more surface area for the aromas to come through on this Glencairn, and see if it's a little bit more boozy, has a little bit more to offer off just that initial quick sniff. Here's some nice brown sugar, barrel char. Oh, there's the proof. Couldn't get it that first little sniff there, but second or third big sniff with the snodge, I got a little bit more proof. You try not to, breathe in too aggressively. You don't want to get hit in the face with it. So on the nose of this one, I get a little bit of corn. It kind of makes me think that it's not super old. I get a little bit of like the grain on the nose of this one, but this is, very high proof. So I'm gonna give it a couple more smells. I get a nice, sweet caramel, a little bit of red fruit in there, like a stone fruit almost, not really stone fruit. I would say almost more like a nice strawberry. I get a good strawberry aroma from that. Maybe a little bit of, in my head, I know that these are Knob Creek, so in my head I'm thinking maybe they could be like a little bit of like a nuttiness to it. But it honestly, the nose on this is not super high proof. It doesn't singe my nose hairs very much. So on to the next one. Again, nice caramel color on this one as well. I don't suspect that there's gonna be a big variance in color between these since they are all barrel proofs, straight out of the barrel kind of products. And so I don't suspect that the color is gonna be all that much different. The age on, I don't have an age on this one. So I don't have an age on the Old Forester or the Jack Daniels. It says what barrel it is, bottled on September 2022, but it does not give an age statement. The only age statements that I have are for these two, where I know this is a touch over 9 years, and this one comes in at, I believe, 7 years and 8 months. So almost an 8-year-old and a touch over a 9-year-old. These two I don't actually have age statements for, so it'll be interesting to see if maybe I can pick up the age difference there, presuming that these are probably closer to that 4 to 6 year age. Ooh, that's got a nice, sweet, desserty nose to it. Very much gives me marshmallow, toasted marshmallow. Just very sweet, decadent nose on that one. Very enjoyable nose. Again, not super high proof. I'm not getting hit in the face with the proof. And you know, like I said, the lowest proof I have over here is 120 proof. You would think that I would get hit in the face with some amount of alcohol, since 3 out of these offerings are 124 plus proof, as high as almost 130 proof. So you would think that I would get hit in the face with something, but I'm not, which is kind of shocking to me. I get a little more fruit in this one, a little more fruit forward, not sweet, not very sweet at all. Oh, what is that smell? It's got a familiar nose to it, but just almost smells like dirty shoe, but in kind of a good way. I get some of the grain on that. I get this like kind of corn forward aroma on that one. Maybe a little savory. Not sweet at all. Almost more savory and fruity with that nose. And this like almost this weird mustiness to it. This weird kind of mustiness to it. The glass D or 4, probably the darkest one of the bunch. Again, that goes back to that really sweet, caramely, creme brulee-esque flavor to it, or aroma to it. A little bit of red fruit in there. A little bit of maybe cherry in there a little bit. So these two are definitely more decadent, and these two are definitely more savory and lighter nose. None of these though, I couldn't tell you. Oh, I get a little bit of tobacco on this one now actually. A little bit of like tobacco fruitiness on that. Still get that like banana, marshmallow. This like odd mustiness to it. So I was gonna guess, I think this could possibly be the Old Forester, just because it does have a slightly more punch in the nose in terms of alcohol it gives off a little bit more booziness than the other three do. But let's get into the taste and see how they compare. Not hot on the front of the tongue at all. I can taste the heat across my palate and down the back end. But it's not crazy. Doesn't light my hair on fire. It's actually kind of pleasant. I get almost like a peanutty flavor from that. I'd venture to guess that this is probably one of the Jim Beam products, since they're pretty well known for that peanutty funk to them. I can taste a little bit of that fruit, like kind of like strawberry. It's not a really sweet, like overly ripe strawberry, but there's definitely like a strawberry flavor in there and a little bit of peanut. Like I said, not super high proof, pretty enjoyable actually. I could definitely sip that. It does burn a little bit as it sits there, but not, whatever it is, I wouldn't say that this drink's as hot as at least 120 proof. And if I'm guessing Knob Creek, or I'm guessing Jim Beam, as high as almost 125 proof. Doesn't drink that hot. Okay, let's go to B. Get more of this banana. Leads me to believe that this is probably Jack Daniel's, just because Jack Daniel's has that banana aroma to me. That's a really nice, pleasant palate. I get the sweetness, I get that banana. It doesn't coat my mouth quite as much as this one did, and honestly, it doesn't burn as much as this one did. This one does burn a little bit more, has a little bit more sting to it than than B does. Nice banana, caramel, brown sugar toasted just like dessert. Quite pleasant. It's good, I like that a lot actually. Hit the water up before I keep moving on. Okay, we're gonna go C. Again, more fruit forward. You get like a tobacco on that flavor. I can taste slightly more alcohol across my palate. Has a little bit more of a burn than either of these two did. This has probably been the smoothest in terms of palate so far. This is probably the hottest in terms of palate, covering my tongue in that alcohol and getting more of that sting from the alcohol across my whole palate. I get some cherry. So I get this like tobacco cherry aroma to it, which a lot of times I get from Rare Breed, which obviously none of these are Russell's products or Wild Turkey products, but I get that a lot from Rare Breed as a tobacco, kind of like fruit forward taste to it. You get like, you can smell a little bit of peanuts in there. Maybe a hint of vanilla and chocolate. Pleasant, is a little bit more burning. Second sip, less so than the first, but definitely coats your tongue. This drinks at the proof that I think, it's bottled at. This drinks very smooth, desserty, not super high proof. This is pretty smooth too, a little more burn than Glass B, but I would say Glass C has the most amount of sting to it in terms of alcohol coating your tongue over the other three. Okay, let's go on to Glass D. That is a nice, dark caramel. Like if you made simple syrup with brown sugar, I feel like that is exactly what that would look like. You get a nice strawberry. I can smell more proof on this again. Strawberry smell to it. That has like almost like a chocolatey to it, not like cacao, like dark chocolate, you know, like a bitter chocolate, more like a sweet, almost milk chocolate to it. This definitely has a proof to it. You can really taste it. It definitely coats my mouth. Really covers my entire mouth and lingers for quite a while. It's one of those ones that you probably wouldn't want to drink super quick. You want to have a sip of it and let that coat your mouth and really enjoy the experience of that sip before you go on for another one. So you're thinking like, 5 minutes at least between sips on this, because you really just, as you swallow and let it sit, it kind of keeps developing. I get some fruit out of this. I get some tobacco, which I'm gonna wash my mouth out because it could be some residual from glass C. See if I still get that tobacco with another sip after I've cleansed my palate. I do still get kind of this tobacco flavor to it. With some cherry at the back end. Once I cleanse my palate, less of a burn than the initial sips were. Okay, I'm gonna spend some time with these and see which one, rank them 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm having a hard time really distinguishing where I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna spend some time with these and see what I come out with. Okay, I've spent some time with these. Got to roll them around in my mouth a little bit, get some ideas as to what I like. Now I will say, I didn't not like any of these. I thought all these were really good. And on any given day, I probably would reorder these. To me, the most obvious one that I enjoyed the most was gonna be C. And number 1, I felt like it had the most amount of flavor, the most pleasant experience. In second place, I would place A. It was kind of, honestly, kind of a shoot up between these two here, between A and B. I could probably go either way with those two. D, the reason I chose D as 4th was because it just had a little bit more burn to it than the others did. The alcohol was slightly more overwhelming than it should have been. It'd be really interesting, once I figure out what bottle that is, to try that with a block of ice or some water to try to dilute it and open it up a little bit and see if, with a slightly lower proof point, how I feel about that experience. But I would say B or C is number 1, A would be number 2, B in a very close 3rd position, and then C being my least favorite with it neat. So let's see what we got. Okay, so let's start from D. Let's start at the bottom, work our way up, and see what we got. So in D, I've got Old Forrester Single Barrel, which I'm not too surprised. I mean, it's 130 proof, and it drinks like it. It is hot. I definitely would like to try this again, come back to this bottle with some water added to it and see how I like it. As you can see, I haven't drank a lot of it, so my exposure to this has only been, I think, on the initial neck pour that I had of it when I got it. So I want to try this one again with a little bit of water in it and see how that dilution changes it. In 4th place, glass B, we had Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof. Okay, so Brown-Forman products finished fourth and third. Now, like I said, B and A could have gone either way. I enjoyed both of them. I enjoyed C probably the most, but both A and B were good. So I could definitely mix this back and forth, second and third place with whatever second place is. But I do enjoy this one quite a bit. I have had a little bit more of this than I have of the others because I do enjoy that Jack Daniel's flavor to it. Okay, so B in third place. A is in second place. A being, sorry about the little mess up there. Phone lost battery, I had to restart. So we're gonna go ahead and do second place now. So A is in second place. With this bottle, we came out with Booker's Charlie's batch. Now, I bought this bottle a couple months ago. It's interesting is I actually tried this about a week ago and I wasn't the biggest fan. So I must have changed my mind or got more oxygen or changed some way, I don't know. But I actually enjoyed it this time, which is really great. Which means that our winner is gonna be Knob Creek Single Barrel. Just to confirm, I'll take the piece of paper out to show you. But it is Knob Creek Single Barrel right there. So this one is the most inexpensive bottle of this entire lineup, and it did the best. For me, when I was doing this whole checking them out by myself in private after I turned the camera off for a minute, I will say that that one immediately jumped out to me as what I thought was first place. Now, it'd be interesting to come back and try them again, try them in different combinations, because they are all so high proof that it's really hard to know as to which one I would love the most, since you get to this point and I've already had a decent amount of drinks in here. And it's interesting to see if my taste buds change over that period of time. But I will say that when I was doing this lineup, this one to me jumped out as immediately the one that I thought was the winner of this 4 whiskey lineup. So winner for today is gonna be Knob Creek Single Barrel, barrel proof. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe, like, comment. Tell me which one of these you think would win in your blind, and let me know how you feel like I did in my tasting notes and all that good stuff. Until next time, peace out.